Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what we're about to discuss here could be one of the most significant developments in the NFC South this season. And honestly, it's a move that could reshape the entire landscape of the division, especially when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons' quest for postseason glory. So stay tuned, because I promise you don't want to miss any detail of this story. The NFL trade deadline is always a whirlwind, and this year it's shaping up to be no different, especially with some intriguing rumors swirling around the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, the Falcons are sitting at a pretty interesting crossroads. They're 3-3, which isn't bad, but they've got some concerns on the defensive side. Their pass rush, which has been a point of focus all season, has been a bit inconsistent, especially after losing Walker to a groin injury. Walker's injury has left the Falcons thin on the edge, and with Phillips III on IR, Bowman hamstring limited, Fuller nursing a knee, and Deblo dealing with a forearm fracture, the defensive front is feeling the strain. Meanwhile, the Saints aren't exactly thriving either. They're 2-4 and looking to shake things up, especially with the trade deadline looming. Their defense, particularly along the defensive line, has been underwhelming, which makes this potential trade even more interesting. Sources close to the NFL are buzzing about a blockbuster deal that could shake the NFC South to its core. According to some reports, the New Orleans Saints might be willing to part ways with one of their key defenders, Chase Young. Yes, that's right, Chase Young, the 26-year-old OSU product and two-time Pro Bowler who's been making waves this season. His resurgence after a tough ACL recovery is nothing short of remarkable. In just 6 games, Young has already amassed 4 sacks, 24 pressures, and an 82. 4 PFF grade, which puts him comfortably in the top 30 among NFL edge rushers. His pressure rate of 12, 8% and 4 QB hits demonstrate that he's constantly disrupting quarterbacks. And if you look at his career stats, he's accumulated 28. 5 sacks in just 52 games, and in the 2024 season alone, he's on pace for over 7.5 sacks with an 84. 1 PFF grade, which is among the best of his career. The guy is a force, especially with his unique blend of size, standing 65 and weighing about 264 pounds, and bull rush techniques that have been breaking through offensive lines at an impressive rate. Now, that's where it gets even more intriguing. The potential trade scenario involves the Falcons acquiring Chase Young for a second-round pick in 2026, and possibly including edge DeAngelo Malone in the deal. Malone, a promising young player, has shown flashes but hasn't quite reached his full potential, and perhaps a change of scenery could do him good. This move would significantly bolster Atlanta's pass rush, which has been somewhat inconsistent but promising. With Young, the Falcons would get a proven disruptor who has the potential to elevate their defensive front to a whole new level. Let's talk about the context of this potential move. The Saints, on the other hand, seem to be in a bit of a seller's position right now. Their odds of making a deep playoff run are not exactly favorable. They're currently considered long shots, with plus 1.2000 odds to win the NFC South. Their offense is averaging just 19.8 points per game, which isn't enough to carry them deep into the playoffs, and their defense has struggled to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks consistently. Malone, who has registered 2 sacks and holds a PFF grade of 68. 4 is part of a defense that's been trying to rebuild along the defensive line. They've allowed 22 sacks this season, and their offensive line has been under pressure, with a PFF grade of 62. The addition of Chase Young could be a game-changer for the Saints, but if they decide to sell and rebuild, they might be willing to part with him for the right price. For Atlanta, a move like this could be transformative. If they add Chase Young, they immediately bolster their pass rush, which already has some momentum with players like Ebakti, who has contributed to the sack count. The Falcons have seen their sack total increase significantly, up to 24, which is 10 more than before, and their pressure numbers have also improved by 18%. Their EPA per play has risen to plus 0.12, and they've been more effective at stopping the run, allowing 11% fewer rushing yards. The stats point to a defense that's trending upward, especially along the front seven, and acquiring Young could be the final piece to turn them into a true playoff contender. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Falcons are aiming not just for a playoff spot, but for a deep postseason run. The addition of a player like Young could provide the extra edge they need against teams like the Vikings or the Packers, especially considering the importance of pass rush in today's NFL. His ability to generate pressure on mobile quarterbacks like Cousins is critical. And speaking of Cousins, the Falcons' defense has shown improvement in protecting against the pass, with their yards per game allowed going from 212 to 242, a 14% increase, but their red zone efficiency has improved, with TDs per game rising slightly but still manageable. Now, if the Falcons manage to land Chase Young, it's not just about that one player. It's about the message sent to the entire NFC South. The division has been somewhat unpredictable this year, with the Saints trying to find consistency and other teams like Tampa Bay and Carolina still in rebuilding phases. But with Young, the Falcons could push themselves into a different tier, especially considering the projected impact of 10 sacks for the rest of the season, which could mirror some of the best pass-rushing seasons like that of Hendrickson in Cincinnati last year. The Falcons' secondary has also shown signs of stability, which means that the pressure from Young could translate into more turnovers and more wins. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you think the Falcons should pull the trigger and go all in for Chase Young? Would you sacrifice a second-round pick in 2026 for a player who could make that much of a difference? Or do you believe they should hold onto their draft assets and continue building through the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters to us and to the Falcons. This could be a defining moment of the season, and your voice adds to the conversation. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest news on the Atlanta Falcons. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Falcons.